Hey everybody! So it has been almost 8 weeks, so we're just gonna call this the 8 weeks postpartum, even though it's not quite, it's like 7 weeks and something, whatever. But anyway, hey! So I know I've not vlogged since I had Grayson, and with Sophie I think I started vlogging again after 3 weeks, but honestly I don't know how you moms with multiple kids do it, because I just can't seem to find the time. And it stinks because I want to vlog. Like, it's not just a matter of, oh, I should make a vlog. Like, I miss it. This is the thing I do that's, for me. I mean, obviously it's for my family too, and it started off like that and everything, but this is my thing and I miss doing it. So, yeah, today is the first day I am alone. Completely alone. The kids are gone and Kyle's gone. I've never been completely alone since I've had Grayson. I've never had a me time. And so I'm having me time right now, and what am I doing? I'm vlogging! Yay! So almost 8 weeks postpartum. What has been going on? So this is a postpartum update, so let me just try to focus on that. So, let's get down to the nitty-gritty of being postpartum. So I had Grayson, which was awesome, and the afterwards of having him is that since I had some rocky blood pressure issues, I had to stay in the hospital 1 extra day, which actually I do not mind. I like being in the hospital. I'm weird like that. It's comforting there. So that was happening. My postpartum belly was weird after having Grayson, second child, for those of you who just joined in. So it was so funny because Grayson always stayed on one side. So here's my stomach. Grayson always stayed on one side, like his back. You know, he had his little head down here, his back curled up on one side, and his feet up here. And after I had him, that side of my stomach was weird looking, like this. It was like having some sort of weird love handle. I'd show you, but it's not like that anymore, thank gosh. But it was like, instead of just being like, you know, here's your waist going in, and then, you know, coming out, maybe you have little extra love handles going down. No, mine was like this, and then this side was kind of like the rounded, a little bit, you know, pudgy. I just had the kid. I'm not the thinnest person. You know, a little pudge, love handle, you know, kind of pudge. This side was like normal waist, you know, come out to that pudge love handle, in, and then the rest of my body. It like stuck out. It was like you could go under the side of that skin and get some shade. It was the weirdest thing. Didn't really upset. I was weirded out by it, but I wasn't upset because I hoped that it would go away. If it hadn't gone away, maybe I'd be upset, but thankfully it did. Everything is kind of smoothed back out into normal love handles left over from baby pudge. So nursing has been awesome. I've had none of the issues I had with Sophia. Actually, that's all I'm going to say about it. I'm going to do a separate nursing update, but it's been good. So that's wonderful. What else? Weight loss. I got down, it took about 2 weeks? 4 weeks? I don't remember. 2 weeks. 2 weeks. It took 2 weeks for my weight to stall out, where I was just losing weight every single day, and after 2 weeks it stopped. And I was 8 pounds above my pre-pregnancy weight, which was fantastic. So I was really happy about that. I actually weigh slightly less right now than I did after having Sophia. So I have done okay for myself. And then this past week I started working out again and have lost another 2 pounds. Yay! And I have not dieted at all, you guys. I'm not eating healthy one bit. So all of that has just been just kicking my, because after you have the baby, your metabolism is kind of like in high gear while you're pregnant, because it's, you know, working for 2 of you, etc., etc. And then after you have the baby, when all your body, you know, slowly start getting rid of all the hormones and all the extra things, and your body's like, oh, I'm not taking care of 2 people anymore, and your metabolism kind of realizes that, and your metabolism can actually kind of stall out a little. And so I think that's what happened. You know, I kind of lost all the weight I was supposed to lose, and my metabolism was kind of stagnant. So this past week I started working out again to get my metabolism kind of kicked back up, and obviously working because I did not, I am eating horribly and still losing weight. And obviously the nursing is helping. So adjustments have been good. I had, just like with Sophia, no postpartum depression issues, but just the normal baby blues. And there is a difference. And the baby blues are, most doctors consider just the normal, you know, the chemicals in your body, the natural chemicals and all that stuff. You get emotional. You get, you know, you definitely are emotional, and it's normal, and they call it kind of, you know, the baby blues, blah, blah. And it's not the severity of like a actual postpartum depression, thank the Lord. So, but I definitely had a case of the baby blues with Grayson, and it was just like with Sophia. I would get really emotional, usually over happy things. Like I would be not overwhelmed, but overcome with emotion, overcome with just, you know, being grateful for my family, or touched by something sweet the kids did, or someone who did something, and I would just tear up and be like, it's so great. And so that was, yeah, definitely was having that. But then the only thing that would make me sad was when I would think about how wonderful it was to be pregnant and how special it was, and I would get sad. I'd be like, and it's over, you know, it's over, and all that wonderful part of my life, like I'll never have that back. And so and I would think about, it was so weird because I was trying to describe it. It's like what I would be sad about was because this is gonna sound so weird. I feel like I am so blessed in life and so many great things, and I like my life so much that the only thing I had to get sad about was that those parts of my life were in the past. But here's the thing, so I was telling Kyle, I was like, but I don't want to go back in time and do it again because this part of my life is also great. So I'm sure Kyle was like, why is that? I don't understand, girl, Courtney. I don't understand, girl. That makes no sense to me. But it was kind of just like, I don't want anything to change. I want to be right where I am, but I would also, like, it was like I wished I could go back and not change anything, but go back and just relive how wonderful life has been. But not leave the present either, because I'm enjoying the present so much. So that was like the only weird emotional thing I had, is I would be conflicted because I'd want to be right here in the now because it was wonderful. But I also wanted to just go back and revisit my wedding, or revisit being pregnant with Sophia for the first time, or revisit some family vacation because it was just so wonderful. And I would get all teary. I'd be like, life is so good. So had that going on. And it was so funny because it literally, that level of being emotional cleared up almost overnight. So it was just such a it's such an odd thing to have, to know that your body is doing it because your hormone levels and things are out of whack. So the kids are adjusting very well. Sophie has never been jealous of Grayson, specifically, ever. The only thing she's had is that she definitely wants me a lot, but she's always been like that. She's a mama's girl through and through. I would laugh when I was pregnant and people would say, oh, you're having a boy, watch out, boys are mama's boys, it'll be different than your daughter. And I was always kind of like, I just nod my head and be like, okay. But then I kind of wanted to be like, you don't know my daughter, she is such a mama's girl. She's not a daddy's girl, she is a mama's girl, like through and through. So I was kind of like, man, that's a lot of emotional parental pressure if both my kids are mama's kids. Like, it's like good and bad. It's a lot of pressure. But yeah, so that's the only thing Sophie's had, is she'll want mama to do it. And she tells everybody that. Like, she wants a drink, and somebody will be like, oh, I'll go get you a drink. And she's like, mama does it. Mama do it. Or, you know, she wants to sit. So that's the only thing she's had. It's never against Grayson, which is wonderful. And she's just so sweet with him. She's so sweet with him. You know, it's funny, we actually, because of Sophie's personality, we didn't anticipate any issue with her and Grayson, but you never know. I have plenty of friends whose children seem like they would be great, and then they would have an issue, which is totally normal. So we just didn't know, but fortunately, you know, she likes to cover him up. She covers, like, she gets upset if he doesn't have a blanket on him. She'll be like, you know, where's Grayson's blanket? And you know, and she talks to him, and she sings to him, and she always wants to give him a pacifier, and Grayson doesn't take pacifiers that much, and so I'm always kind of like, oh, I think he doesn't want it, but she's like trying to shove it in his mouth. And, you know, she'll bring him toys, and she'll tell me that I need to lay him down or to check on him, or she'll want to help burp him. It's really precious. It's precious. And so she likes to hold him, you know, and we always make her sit down to hold him, and she'll just be like, Sophie holds him, and I'm like, sure. So, and she likes a lot when she's sitting on my lap and like the Grayson's like lying down on the floor in front of us or something, and we're both engaged with him. She likes that a lot, and I think it's because she's spending time with me. You know, it's Sophie and Mama time, just like the old days, but we're sharing an activity together, which is Grayson. What I did not anticipate about having Grayson, the thing that is different is that I did not anticipate, I anticipated being busy. I anticipated that I'd get stressed sometimes and it would be hard with the kids. I anticipated that Sophie might be jealous. I anticipated that Grayson might cry more than Sophie because, you know, I'd have to take care of Sophie and couldn't focus on him 100%, you know, whereas with Sophie as a newborn I could. I mean, I anticipated all these things. What I did not anticipate is that I would miss Sophia and I would miss Kyle. And I don't miss them when we're all together. Like, the family time feels the same to me. It's just we added an extra person. I miss one-on-one stuff with them. Like, Sophie and I, you know, we called it Sophie and Mama time. Like, that's what we called it. And I'd always be really, you know, excited. We'd go up in the morning, I'd be like, you know, oh, you ready for Sophie and Mama time? And she would, you know, sometimes if we'd been doing stuff with people, she'd ask for Sophie and Mama time. And we had activities that her and I would do and things like that. And I missed that. I missed that giving her that kind of, you know, I missed that time with her. And then the same with Kyle. You know, just with Sophie, we put her down for bed and, you know, we had our time together and we would just chat. Sometimes we didn't even hang out. Sometimes we would just get on our computer, but we would just be near each other. And then, you know, but a lot of times we would chat or do things or get things, and, you know, it was just him and I talking or whatever. And it was really easy with Sophie to drop her off with a grandparent and run out and do something with just ourselves. And, you know, it's different when you add in that fourth little baby, and especially nursing, you know, because I've got to feed him. And so I didn't anticipate that. Like, I miss them too. And so, and that's actually gotten better because we're fine. Now that Grayson's a little older, we introduced a bottle to him, so I have a little bit of flexibility, not a ton, because we don't really give him that. He's pretty much only nursed, but it's like, I don't know, I guess I just kind of getting over it or used to it or finding our way, but that was the only thing I didn't anticipate, was like missing them, which is so weird because I would be right next to them, but I still missed them. It's fun, it's neat having that new baby. I didn't want to let him go ever for the first couple of weeks. I pretty much held him only, not even Kyle much. It was pretty much me and Grayson all the time. I just really wanted to bond with him, and I had help with Sophie almost every day of the first few weeks. And I would just I bonded a lot with Grayson during that time and established our nursing routine and all that stuff. So yeah, so there we go, you guys. So that's kind of the gist. There's more details about all of that, but that's a general postpartum update. And so yeah, and as for me, it took about 4 weeks for the postpartum, you know, the bleeding and all that to kind of start wrapping up. It was done by 6 weeks by my doctor's appointment. I had a 2nd degree tear, natural tear. I didn't have an episiotomy. I tore naturally. And the doctor stitched it up, and it got slightly, like a tiny bit of infection, even though I tried to keep the area clean. But I didn't ever have an infection with Sophie, but I had a clean cut with Sophia, so I think it's stitched up nicer than like this jagged tear. So that didn't heal quite as well as I healed with Sophia, but it wasn't a big deal. I didn't even need any antibiotics or anything because it just healed itself. So that was good, so my body knew what it was doing, and yeah, everything kind of bounced back, which is awesome. You know, I'm got squishy postpartum baby belly going on, but I mean, that's just par for the course. And you know, I guess it's nice because I'm no worse than I was with Sophie after Sophie, and I managed to like start toning down and you know, slimming down and toning up after I had her, you know. So it's kind of like, I guess I just feel more in control of it, so it doesn't bother me that much, which is really great. Hopefully now I can start getting back into my old vlogging habits, which is awesome. I have so many vlogs I can do. You guys, I'm so sorry it took me so long. You women who just jump right back in and start vlogging, like, brava, because that is amazing. I swear I just cannot find the time. I'm like, how do they do this? Like, how am I, like, not handling this better time-wise to have the opportunity to do it? But regardless, I'm doing one right now, so yay. So there we go. That's it. That's the postpartum update for now, and I'll update more later. It was nice talking to everybody. Bye, guys.